When I was in New York, I worked my ass off to get my engineering degree and ultimately land a career in the federal government. My family saw that as like, man, he's set for life, right? The government's like a lifelong career, but it was just not the career for me. I was happy to leave. I was very happy to leave. And people think I'm crazy because it's like, whoa, you have a lifelong set of benefits. But unless you're like me, you don't see that. I don't have any regrets whatsoever. I don't look back at that time at all. I've been in Nashville, actually, a year and 1 month. Since I have bought my first house, which was here. I moved from New York, and again, took a leap of faith, put it in the hands of God, like, just see what happens. And I moved, I bought a house with my fiance, and we're happy to say that we have not regretted it since, seriously.
Yeah. Hi, Robert Hartline here with the Music City Work Club. And today, I have a member spotlight, Hansell Cruz.
Yes, sir.
What is up?
What's up? Good, man. So dominicano.
So tell me how you discovered Music City Work Club.
You know what's crazy? It was just the algorithm. It kind of did its thing. I was scrolling. I don't want to say lost, but I was just figuring things out. And somehow the algorithm kind of did its thing and showed me your face on one of the reels. And it was an ad actually to come in here for one of the upcoming events. And then I was like, this could be up my alley. So I was like, you know what? Just take a leap of faith. Same reason I'm probably going to get into in this podcast is I'm the type of guy where I want to explore every avenue there is to life. I don't want to stay hidden in a corner wondering when that opportunity is going to come in, right? So I want to take a chance. So I was like, you know what? If this is showing up on my feed, it's because God has given me a message. So I decided I was going to take a leap.
And it was Breakthrough and Eggs.
It was Breakthrough and Eggs on a Thursday, first week of May. I can't remember the day.
And so you're new to Nashville. And so you're trying to how long have you been in Nashville, by the way?
Dude, I've been in Nashville, actually, a year and 1 month. Since I have bought my first house, which was here. I moved from New York, and again, took a leap of faith, put it in the hands of God, like, just see what happens. And I moved, I bought a house with my fiance, and we're happy to say that we have not regretted it since, seriously.
Yeah. What is it like to be new in a city?
You know, I would not say I'm totally new to Nashville because I have family down here. I probably would find it harder to go somewhere, maybe Texas, where I might not have much family, but there was that sense of opportunity. I think that would be very different. Just feeling like you're starting life from zero, you know. To come here, at least having a family, something, you know what home feels like, that at least gave me comfort, right? Even though it was a drastic move, what I did. Yeah.
And you transferred, you not only did you move, but you've changed careers.
I did, yeah.
That's a big move just to do any of those, but to do two at the same time, close to the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, where I worked somewhere that people dream of working, right? For a lack of a better way to put it. When I was in New York, I worked my ass off to get my engineering degree and ultimately land a career in the federal government. You know, my family saw that as like, man, he's set for life, right? The government's like a lifelong career. But it was just not the career for me. There's reasons why, but I was happy to leave. I was very happy to leave. And people think I'm crazy because it's like, whoa, you have a lifelong set of benefits. But unless you're like me, you don't see that. I don't have any regrets whatsoever. I don't look back at that time at all. Like, I miss the people I worked with, You know, I miss that feeling of making an impact where I was making impacts, but that was just not a career that is, you know, greatness, right? And I want to feel fulfilled. I want to feel great. And that was just not it for me. So that's why I took a leap of faith. I left, I switched careers. I don't know if I go into the next thing.
I want to hear this.
I started working for Google.
Yeah.
So I actually did get a job working for Google. It was for G Fiber here in Nashville. And it was through some connections. I had the background. I have an engineering degree, and I have the way to have a very promising lifelong career in Google as well, right? I have that potential. But once again, it's not what everyone thinks, right? Everyone is different. Everyone thinks differently. And for me, it doesn't feel fulfilling to do it at someone else's pace, you know?
Well, one thing I like to talk a lot about is the decision experience is the moment when you know you need to change. Something has got to change, and the moment you actually do the change. And you had a moment working for the government, you felt like you needed to change. What got you to finally commit to change there?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, when I was working in the government, I'll just give this little bit of context. I was definitely one of the lucky ones, right? I graduated in 2019. What happened months later? COVID. Everything fell apart. The plans they had for us was to build us up because there was this huge disparity, at least in the part of government I was in. You had a lot of older people retiring and nobody in the middle, right? They had a huge gap. And so they had this huge, like this latent wave of new engineers coming in, and I was part of that wave, right? And the plan was for the older guys to teach the newer guys, but because of COVID, that kind of started crumbling, right? We all started working from home. I know a lot of people in my circle who lost their jobs, you know, and they didn't know what to do next. And these are people I graduated with. So for me to be in the federal government where I knew I was going to be safe and, you know, be able to, you know, save up, life and all that stuff, I was good. But at the same time, I didn't think what I was doing was what I wanted to do, right? So I trained up on the stuff I wanted to do. While working for the government, I took courses on AI, on tech, on every form of, you know, marketing, business, and all that stuff I can train up on. I spent a lot of time brushing up my skills for me to be able to do this, like, for another company or on my own ultimately. And so when the time came around that I was ready, right, I was like, all right, I'm going to move on. I had a tough time because, you know, at the time, at least 2 years ago or so, before AI really like took its place, it was just, you had to take a coding exam, right? This was more like 3 years ago, 3 years and above ago. But you had to take a coding exam for any tech company if you want to be a programmer, a software engineer. And this was one of the most difficult exams there are out there, right? Somebody does a coding exam and you have to code it on the spot and be able to explain what it is that you're doing. And this is very, very hard, right? Long story short, it didn't go as planned for me. But ultimately, I went to, I still stuck around. Sorry. Can we?
No, you're good. You're good. You're doing good.
Yeah?
You're good.
All right. Because I don't want to lose track of the timelines here. But what ended up happening was that I would pray every day. I would say, God, please, like, give me that sense of opportunity that I can just leave. I wanted to leave the government because the technology I was doing over there was not cutting edge. And I wanted cutting edge. I was doing stuff that was 20 years old. I was doing dial-up. You remember dial-up?
Boring. Oh, gosh.
The house cable that you connect to your computer to get Wi-Fi or internet. So that's the type of technology that I worked with. And that's what's still around for like communications, right? It's like the mindset is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right.
You know? So they're very old school. I didn't want old school. Like, I wanted the cutting edge stuff. I want to do
You wanna
new
learn
stuff.
something.
I want to learn something.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's
yeah.
another thing.
Yeah.
There was a lot of toxicity going on because the first thing I told my like manager when I met him was like, man, like I want to learn new stuff. I want to be good. I want to be the best engineer I can be. But I felt very limited because that wasn't his set of priorities. For him, it was more just like figure it out and just do what you can, right? And I know a lot of people feel that way. But that's exactly how it went for me. And I knew that eventually I would get to the point where I can finally leave. The point is that the stars aligned, right? Finally, when, I don't want to get too political, but when Trump came into office, right? He and Elon Musk was hanging out a lot. Elon Musk.
They changed a few things.
They did. They did. Elon Musk started with Doge, right? The Department of Government Efficiency. And I remember having so many union meetings, emergency union meetings. And it was just like, Doge, we're going to kick out all the federal workers. And you're going to get them out. We got to get them out. And then I was just like, I was laughing in my head at the union meetings. I would literally just like, I would bawl out. Like I couldn't laugh in front of people because people were like, "Oh my God, I'm
Concerned." And you're
concerned.
like, bring it.
I'm like, this is what we need.
Yeah.
Like this is what we need. And unfortunately, I think the DOGE, they couldn't break down the walls of unions and protections. But, they did come out with an offer, which was, hey, if you're a federal employee and you want to dip, we're going to pay you for a few months. It was their first official severance package, first of its kind. It's called the DRP, the Deferred Resignation Program. And basically came from up above. Trump and Elon Musk, they said, hey, if you want to leave, it's just simple email, just say resign. And I remember the clock hit 11:50 p.m. on the night of the last day of their so-called window. And I said, you know what, fuck it.
Yeah,
Resign.
Let's do it.
And ever since, everything changed. At that moment, I was officially put on the program. I was one of the only people, probably the only person as part of that wave that, new engineers that came onto the federal government during that time. I was one of the very few who actually took that.
Yeah. And so was that the first, did you know that you wanted to be an entrepreneur at that point?
I always knew that I wanted to start my own business. Growing up in the Bronx, I always looked to do something, right? I would help people a lot. I help people just because that's part of my nature. My thing was always tech. People had phone issues, laptop issues.
So you're Geek Squad for your family?
I was literally
that's
1-800 tech support.
I was that, and I didn't like it. Maybe you liked it.
I loved it.
Yeah.
It was one of my favorite things because I would hand the device over and they would see the results of my work and they'd say, holy crap, he did it.
Yeah.
And those were the only words that mattered to me at the time.
So what is entrepreneurship? What do you want it to be for you going forward, starting now? What does that look like for you?
Yeah. So right now, I think, I don't want to pause too long. So entrepreneurship for me started, I think, when I was in college. When I was in college, I was doing engineering, right? And I barely had enough to get by. In New York, you have to pay for Metro cards. You have to pay your way of life to eat, food, and everything. And growing up with a single mom, I had barely anything to go by. So I had to do anything I could. I would work part-time. Sometimes I'd work in a supermarket. I'd do sort of little jobs on the side. But eventually it got to the point where I was like, man, I was almost like fuck school in a way, because I knew that I could do so much more. There were so many opportunities out there that anyone can do that can make you different, right? And so I took a course, the Ty Lopez's. You remember Ty Lopez?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the guy in the garage, the Lamborghini.
Yeah, of course. You were one of those guys.
I was.
Yeah.
I took the social media marketing agency course, and I remember that course was like online. It was a lot of money at the time, but I was like, I'm gonna just try it and see what happens. I was in engineering school, learning engineering, but at the same time I was struggling so hard because engineering was very difficult. I had to hustle so much, but I wanted money now. I wanted to make a difference for me and my family. So that's why I was like, let me just put it all on my plate. So I started doing the Ty Lopez's course, and I remember he said, only do 4 videos a week. And dude, one day I just woke up with that sense of like, success is the only way, that kind of mindset, that dog mentality. And I started doing it. I started writing, taking notes, watching the videos. I watched like 12 videos in one day. And at the end of the day, I'm like 3 a.m. and my heart starts beating and I forget how to breathe. I'm like, what the hell is happening right now? And when I stand up and I'm like, yo, my brother, he's right next to me playing video games. I'm like, yo, call 911. I'm not feeling well. I feel like I'm gonna die.
What?
Yeah. And when the paramedics came, they came up to my New York City Bronx apartment up there, 4th floor, and they came with the bed and everything to carry me out. I was fine. They said false alarm, but they still ran tests. They put me in the ambulance and they ran an EKG. Heart perfectly normal. And when they finally took me to the hospital, they told me, man, you just had a panic attack. That's all it was. It was a panic attack because of the stress, anxiety that I placed upon myself, right? I had all this stuff piled up on top of me because I put it on myself at the end of the day, right? I'm the oldest of 3. My mom, single. My dad left when I was young. I had to cater to my younger siblings.
You got a lot on your shoulders.
And I put it on me to take care of them. And to this day, that mentality kind of sticks around. I'm calmer. I'm not going to give myself another panic attack, but no matter what, I'm going to get there. That's how I live.
So how do you help you as an entrepreneur now? Who do you want to serve?
So now, I feel extremely adequate at helping people. Now I'm at the point where I've taken Ty Lopez's social media marketing course where I've learned business and marketing. He spent millions and millions of dollars on marketing skills. He's lost a lot of money, but he created this formula to teach people how to market, especially online. So I learned how to audit businesses' websites, right? I learned about CTAs. I learned about the psychology behind it. I learned that it takes at most 1 click for a user to be on your website. And they're looking for that one element on your website. So you better not have things hidden too deep, right? It takes about 7 emails for email marketing. Email marketing is still a huge thing, even in today's world, right? It takes about 7 for a user to take some kind of action, whether they actually execute in your funnel or they decide they're going to unsubscribe, right? And so there's these business and marketing aspects that I'm very comfortable with, and the technical side, right? I graduated as an engineer. I've been using AI since it's like before it became popular. I've created many apps and platforms. And what I'm focusing on now lately is creating a personal brand. So that came from because I was off the grid for so long that when I finally decided I was going to be an entrepreneur and create my own platforms, I found that I couldn't reach people. I found that was like the missing piece of the puzzle. Like I had all these great platforms, right? And they solved real, actual problems. But when I send them to the friend groups, the friend groups are just like, oh, okay, it works. Like, all right, that's cool. But that level of interest and connection doesn't match up because I'm just sending them something that, have you ever tried to be in the street and hand out a free donut?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, people don't trust you.
Right.
Yeah.
So I spent the last 3 months learning how to use social media. I've been off the grid for over 10 years. Never had posted a picture.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And one day, I went to one of the events around here. It was a tech event, AI, and I met a bunch of AI people, very professional. And out there, I actually met Nala Ray. She's doing like Christian content, with her husband as well, Jordan. And I'm actually really good friends with them. So Nala and Jordan, I invited them out because I heard he likes cars. So we went to like a car meet and we started talking, and they were just giving me nuggets, like golden
These
nuggets.
are big. They have a following, by the way. If you not looked them up, they have a huge following.
Yeah. Definitely huge. And well, when I first met Nala, and when I first met Nala, I never knew who she even was, because again, I was off the grid. I never spent time on social media. But when she was introducing herself to me in person, she was so awesome. Like, she was super intelligent and super like educative, and happy to help. And I was like, whoa, like, she knows a lot, and eventually when we went to the car meet, she was just dropping these nuggets, and so was Jordan, about she wants to kind of help people build their own brands. And she was telling me the do's and do nots and everything. And I'm like, man, like, I'm capturing all of this stuff. On top of that, I'm learning all this stuff while being on social media too. And my algorithm's already working. People just kind of showing, how to create your own content and everything. So it's like you pick up these tricks over time.
So again, who would you like to, because one of the things I saw that you did on your socials was you built somebody a website. You built a stranger and rebuilt their website. Tell me what that journey was like.
Yeah. So that's how I kind of started things, right? Again, I never put my face out there, but I knew that I wanted to start with this journey. It's a challenge for me. Wasn't comfortable on camera, so I decided I was going to do something that I'm good at. I'm good at building websites, really good. So I wanted to make an impact where I know I can kind of make the most impact. It's kind of like the stars are aligning for this situation, right? My family's from the Dominican Republic, and I decided that I was going to build some random person in Dominican Republic a random website. That is how I came up with the idea. Basically, I know a lot of Dominicans. Right? I know how we think. I mean, I am Dominican. I grew up Dominican, so you kind of just know. Many of them don't use their phones to access how we do, right? To access, physical materials or people, communications. The only thing they use is WhatsApp. Like, that's the main thing. Like, if you need a car part, you text the guy, the hardware store or whatever, the car store in the corner, and be like, hey, you got this part? And you send a picture of what you need. It's like very inefficient. So I'm like, man, like, there's a lot of opportunity just laying around here, especially now that AI can basically one-shot websites nowadays. This is an unexplored avenue that people are not really taking full advantage of. They're very focused on building people websites here for plumbers and all these different, I've seen the market, they're very saturated. But there's places that have money, believe it or not, third world countries that are willing to pay to get things up and running. Dominican Republic is investing a lot of money right now into AI. And that's what a lot of people don't realize also. We have a lot of sleepers. You know what a sleeper is? So a sleeper is kind of like, from the face, you don't think it's, it has that potential to be there. But when you look under the sheets, it is like, it really could be, You ever seen one of those like animated cartoons where, the shadow is coming in as like a little cute mouse. And then when you actually see the mouse, it's actually this ginormous, strong mouse.
Oh, wow.
That's kind of a sleeper. That's So we have a lot of sleepers. I think that Dominican Republic is going to be one of those countries that really pops up at the end of this whole AI race, because they're investing a lot of money in AI. And I'm Dominican. We build things with nothing. Like, we are extremely underrated. And it just takes the right tools and resources that we are unstoppable. We can literally do everything. And it's going to be interesting to see kind of the direction that we take things. Because, like I said, they're investing in AI. I wanted to be part of that forefront. So that's why I started doing that. I wanted to make a website for a random person in DR because eventually, in less than a year or so, most businesses are going to operate that way, right? AI is coming up. AI is becoming much more available.
And so you made a website for somebody.
I did.
And what was that like to build it and then get their reaction?
Oh man, it was amazing. I mean, I literally just went on Claude and I gave it all the context I could. I built an agent specifically catered to pick up the right context and act like me and just do what I wanted it to do. And so it just went ahead and it made them an actual practical website. It was a motorcycle store, and I just picked them at random. So what I did before that actually was build a random dart thrower. So it was on Google Maps. You can just click, throw dart, and whatever you're hovered over, the dart's just gonna land anywhere, and whatever business is next to that dart is gonna select them. So I selected at random a motorcycle store in the Dominican Republic, and without calling them or anything, I literally asked Claude to build them a website. And at the end of it, I literally called them up and I was like, listen, like, I'm about to change your game. And at first they thought it was a scam. You know, I'm giving you a free website. It's like some random dude in the States, like 347 number, right? And then when I finally explained it to them, what was happening, they kind of calmed down and they were like, man, like, wow, this is amazing. Thank you so much. This is the future.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So how would you like to take your entrepreneur future? What does it look like in the next couple of years?
Yeah, that's a good question. For me, I am obsessed with like seeing the results of my work in people. You know, making apps, making websites, making them do what they're meant to do, it's one thing. It feels great when you finally see the gears turning in the right places. But when you finally see it for who it's meant for, that's what you care about.
Yeah,
right?
All the people that...
The gears don't even matter. It's about their reaction to the gears. Like, for me, that means a lot. And for my journey as an entrepreneur, that's going to involve really helping people with AI. I think that is my everything. You know, I have the business technical skills, the actual engineering side, and as a minority, I know there's so many people I can help and impact.
How could someone reach out to you and get your help?
Yeah, so my website is called swirlsite.com, SWRL site. What I'm gonna focus on is building free websites for businesses. And if you want an automation or some kind of incorporation of AI, that is how I can help you.
It's amazing. Now, there's so many people that get totally confused on what next steps to take with AI. And, you know, I really follow the process, who, not how. So if you're looking for someone that can help you take those baby steps into AI, add a process or a system, they can talk to you and get it done.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I'm a personable guy. On my website, there's a book a call link. It's no charge. You can just talk to me for free. And I will literally tell you exactly how I would incorporate AI into your business.
Beautiful. Thanks, Hansel. Glad to have you in the club.
Awesome, man. I'm glad to be here.
If you are an entrepreneur here in Nashville, Tennessee, and you're looking for a place to work, we call it the third space. You have a home office, you have an office at your office. But if you're an entrepreneur, you need a third place. This is a 12,000 square foot facility. We are podcast studio. We are event space. We are meeting room space. We are a coffee shop. We are wellness, sauna, cold plunge, biocharger, whatever it is for your wellness and your entrepreneurship, and most of all, your network of people who are growing and going in their business, a place where you can be in community with other people that are getting it done. Please visit musiccityworkclub.com.